South African activist Bazooka Rhadebe was shot 8 times outside his home in Amidiba while defending his wife and son, who are now both in hospital. Also chair of the Amidiba Crisis Committee, Rhadebe was a leading figure in the campaign against the Xolobeni titanium mining project, which seeks to plunder Amidiba communal lands. Demonstrators organised an emergency picket outside the South African embassy in London.
An assassination which took place on Tuesday in Pondoland, South Africa, of a community leader by the name of Bazooka Rhadebe. He was shot down at the front door of his own home by 2 unknown gunmen who arrived in a white car with a blue light on top, and he had been threatened. He was known to be number 1 on a death list. He had already been telling number 2 and number 3 on the death list that they should be very careful. And this is not an isolated incident. It's part of a program of violence against the community to try and force them to submit to the will of Mark Caruso and his mining corporation MRC, that wants to take their land to make a load of money out of mining titanium. This is an assassination foretold. We call on the people of this country, we call especially on the government of South Africa, and we call on the people and the government of Australia as well, to stop the murder of men and women like Bazooka. The mining must stop. There are too many African lives being taken for the sake of profit, and believe it or not, here in the 21st century, African lives matter. We want no more colonialism. We want no more neo-colonialism. We want no more exploitation. African lives matter. Down with MRC.
I'm Sarah Nell Benjamin, and I'm the International Programs Director at War and Want. We are supporting the Amidiba Crisis Committee as one of our partners that we act in solidarity with around extractive mining in the Global South. The circumstances around his death make it sound like the state is complicit in it, and if it is, then this is going to take a really long time to actually bring anyone to justice. 2 years ago, one of our partners in the global in South Africa, Abishali Basem Jondolo, lost one of their activists. She was shot in the head in her home by people who just stormed in. It took about a year and a half of solid protests that we had outside South Africa House and in South Africa for the state to actually conduct an investigation and then bring someone to justice. At the end of it, it was found that an ANC councillor from that area was responsible for her death. So if the same thing is happening in Amidiba and in Xolobeni, then this is going to take a long time, if any, someone's going to be brought to justice.
Brother Rhadebe is a hard-working community activist. They've been working against the mines because the mines have destroyed the community. It has destroyed the environment, poisoned the water, made people ill, and the powers that be in South Africa, the mining corporations, in alliance with the so-called government, People's Government of the ANC, has collaborated with these corporations to assassinate activists. Many people have been killed so far, and it's to intimidate them and to force them to accept the unacceptable.
That this is not some accident or some criminal act. It is politically motivated. The company, the corporations, have been targeting these workers, and we saw this with the Marikana massacre, working hand in hand with agencies of the state. We're here to make a stand to say you simply will not get away with it.
As family and supporters of Rhadebe mourn this great loss, a long fight for justice to bring these perpetrators to account lays ahead.